want to be happier? Do you want to improve your well-being? There's a whole field in psychology dedicated to looking at how we can do that in a scientifically backed way. It's called positive psychology, and that is going to be our topic for today. We're going to take a look at how positive psychology approaches the study of behavior and mental processes and how we can use that to improve our overall well-being. There are a lot of different techniques and approaches that positive psychology looks at that we can incorporate into our own lives. So let's go ahead and take a look. So as we just said, positive psychology is the branch of psychology that focuses on how we can improve our well-being, looking at things like enhancing our positive emotions, focusing on our strengths and our virtues, and other practices that will increase our happiness and our resilience. And when we talk about improving our well-being, what we mean by that is our optimal psychological and physical health, and resilience being the ability to adapt in different situations and bounce back from adversity. Positive emotions include not only happiness, but things like love, joy, contentment, and gratitude. And that's a part of measuring our psychological health. So what are some things that we can do to improve our psychological health? Gratitude is one big thing that researchers have found that can improve our overall well-being. It's a positive emotion involving appreciation and thankfulness. And what researchers have found is that the more we engage in a gratitude practice, the more positive benefits we experience, both in increasing our resilience and our positive emotions as a whole. And this can have an effect on our subjective experiences and our subjective well-being. Our positive subjective experiences are a person's feelings of happiness, satisfaction, and well-being. And when we engage in gratitude, we are more likely to appreciate the things that we already have around us. It's going to increase our positive subjective experience, and it's going to increase our subjective well-being, our overall evaluation of our own life and our own happiness levels. Other things that we can do to increase our positive subjective experiences and our subjective well-being is to engage in our signature strengths. Signature strengths are character strengths that we all have to some degree or another. And researchers have found that the more we engage in our particular strengths, the more that increases our well-being. It's a different model compared to typical psychology, where the focus is on what's wrong with us and how to fix it. Instead, the focus is taking what we are already good at and enhancing that even more and seeing the positive benefit that can follow. And this is not just subjective, our own personal evaluation of our well-being. There's also objective measures, things that are measurable, like our physical health, our number of social connections, and our achievements that are also being increased when we engage in our signature strengths. And this is also improving our happiness. So what are the signature strengths and how can we use them? The strengths are broken down into different virtue categories, and these virtue categories are wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. So let's take a look at them as a whole, and then you can take the strengths test to see which ones are your highest. So the first category is wisdom. These are going to be cognitive strengths that involve acquiring and using knowledge. If you have a love of learning and helping others using wisdom, you might have a signature strength in this category. The next category is courage, and this is the emotional strength that involves overcoming fears and taking risks. So if you feel strongly about things like justice and standing up for others, then you might have a signature strength in the courage category. Humanity includes the interpersonal strengths that involve caring for and being compassionate towards others. So if that is where your strengths lie, using that on a regular basis can help increase your own well-being as well as the lives of others. Justice focuses on civic strengths that involve promoting fairness and equity, and temperance strengths involve self-control and moderation. Last but not least, we have transcendence, and these are spiritual strengths that involve finding meaning and purpose beyond oneself. Everyone's going to have strengths in different areas, but again, the more we are able to use those strengths on a regular basis, the more we're going to see the benefits. And the greater our well-being is, the more resilient we become. That resilience is really helpful for our post-traumatic growth. We often talk about adversity and trauma as being a bad thing, and of course, to some degree, it is. But post-traumatic growth refers to the positive psychological changes that occur as a result of coping with and overcoming that adversity and trauma. And so when you are able to engage in your strengths and engage in a gratitude practice, you can help yourself in building your resilience and seeing your well-being improve over time, regardless of the circumstances that you are dealing with. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and please remember, be kind to your mind.